You know, I try to keep my reviews concise and to the point because, unlike a movie such as, say, this one, I'd rather not keep you here for 2 hours. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're talking about a brand new VOD release, Our Friend. Let me know in the comments before we begin what your thoughts were on this movie, if you already saw it, if you're excited for it, if you weren't planning on seeing it. Let me know so we can discuss. Also, make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you like these reviews, as it helps me out immensely by getting my channel out there and growing the community. And if you are new here, I hope you consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with reviews of new releases, older films, hidden gems, and so much more on a near daily basis. But let's not waste any more time and let's start talking about Our Friend. This focuses on a couple played by Dakota Johnson and Casey Affleck, who, after receiving life-altering news, finds unexpected support from their best friend played by Jason Segel, who puts his own life on hold and moves into their family home, bringing an impact much greater and more profound than anyone could have imagined. This is written by Brad Inglesby, who also wrote The Way Back last year, and is directed by Gabriella Cowperthwaite, who last directed Megan Levy, and it's based on a true story which was first chronicled in an Esquire article written by Matthew Teague, who Affleck portrays here. Now, I'm generally wary with films whose central premise revolves around a main character's illness or here impending death. In this case, Dakota Johnson's character Nicole has terminal cancer, because it's a trope you tend to see a lot in young adult romantic dramas, which I know this is not one of those, but done the wrong way, which it has been, it tends to come off as super manipulative and distasteful in a way. However, I never got that with this film. The fact it's based on a true story aside, there's a level of authenticity to this that gets lost in a lot of other films. It does a great job capturing grief, trying to prepare for the inevitable loss of a loved one, and the mental stress the process puts on everyone, because it changes everyone's personalities. We see how Nicole goes from being a kind, warm-hearted individual to starting to lash out, cursing out her loved ones, and making wild, baseless assumptions as this cancer destroys her. And we also see how Matthew and Nicole's children, who are generally happy, start to become bitter, not just because they're losing their mother, but because they're going to be stuck with a father who is barely around to begin with. This illness really exposes the worst qualities of this family as a whole. We learn in flashbacks how Matthew's career started to take off, but it caused him to travel all the time, and it left Nicole to take care of the kids mostly on her own. But because her personality was always to try brushing things off and making the most out of a situation, she makes everything work. But that's no longer going to be the case, and the way it takes its toll on everyone is now out in the open. The film serves as a reminder that, as tragic as this event is, and we feel sympathy for all these characters as we get to know them more, these are still just people at the end of the day. All their flaws, all their imperfections, the crappy things they tend to do, knowingly or unknowingly, don't just go away. And this film is a heartbreaking insight into what it's like trying to deal with all that while trying to cope with this tragedy. Yet there's still a sense of hopefulness in there thanks to Jason Segel's character Dane, who has a strong friendship with both Matthew and Nicole. While he doesn't fool himself as far as the severity of the situation, he does try to bring this sense of positivity back to this family by trying to take the stress off everyone, giving everyone a few laughs, and trying to help mend some of those dynamics among the family that have long been broken. All the scenes with the children, acting as another parental figure for them, were probably some of the film's best moments for me. And what adds to that authentic, honest feel to the film is that he, along with really all the characters, aren't people who know what to say at all times. There's an awkwardness to them. They stumble through conversations or make poor attempts to deflect certain questions, or they'll be at a total loss of words at moments where, in countless other films, a character typically would impart some knowledge to help others get through a situation. These are people who don't always have the answer, and it adds to how relatable they can be, which in turn makes the film feel very sweet whenever they have a nice moment, as rare as those can be, and it also adds to the heartbreak, especially as we watch how this illness gradually gets worse. And what anchors this are a ton of great performances, with Dakota Johnson and Jason Segel especially being the two big standouts for me, with Johnson in particular giving what just might be her best performance yet. Now, as far as criticisms go, The main two things I took issue with were, one, the way it was structured, because it would make frequent use of cutting back and forth between the present day and flashbacks, and I normally don't have a problem with this storytelling tactic, but the way it was done here, it would be a little all over the place. It would cut to 1 year ago, then to 2 years ago, then to 6 months ago, then back to 1 year ago, and it can be a little disorienting as side characters come and go a lot here. You have to keep track of who's in whose life at what point, what happened to this person when, why something's so different now, and it just felt a little unfocused and made for a disjointed narrative. But this goes hand in hand with my second major negative, which is the amount of subplots it gets into. I think the idea behind this was to show how so many people come and go, but what remains is the friendship among our main three characters. But it just wasn't conveyed as effectively as I think the filmmakers hoped. Some of the scenes we get with some of these minor characters feel inconsequential, in particular this one subplot with Gwendolyn Christie appearing briefly as someone Segel meets, which goes nowhere. And I think it just winds up making the runtime feel a bit bloated, and it felt like a distraction from the main story. I think had they cut some of these excess characters out and fixed up the structure of the flashbacks, then it would have been fine. But to be clear, it doesn't ruin the film or anything. I still enjoyed it. Overall, this was a lot better than I was expecting it to be. Whereas films that centralize a terminal illness tend to be overly sappy and manipulative, this, on the other hand, is a very sweet, heartbreaking film about the way in which people's worst qualities can come out in the worst moments, and how the strengths of this friendship attempt to hold everything together as best as possible. It's anchored by some great performances, with Johnson and Segel being in top form here, and it's certainly worth checking out. As of now, it's on VOD for $20, so whether you watch it now, or you'd rather wait till the price comes down, you should give it a shot, as I don't think you'll be disappointed. Our Friend gets an 8 out of 10. So let me know, did you see Our Friend, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Did you like this story? Do you have a favorite Jason Segel movie? Let me know in the comments below so we can discuss. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll catch you next time.